Hey everybody, just wanted to jump in today and touch base on a couple of things. We have ratification that is set to launch soon, and so I just wanted to highlight that and give a couple of updates. You may have seen an email that came out on Friday that touched base on a couple of updates that have happened kind of over the last couple of weeks. A lot has been happening related to bargaining still. We've had some other unions are still doing some negotiations and wrapped up. We've been negotiating a large grievance settlement that we've been working on, and that has all kind of made an impact to our benefits that came out of this contract. So an email went out on Friday last week, just kind of briefly going over that. And then another email will go out tomorrow that will really highlight some of those changes and kind of go over a couple of questions that folks have asked. Those are central table changes. Nothing has changed related to your local table. All of that is still the same. Just some improvements to the language at central table. So we are going to get ratification out. It's either going to launch. Well, this video is being recorded in the afternoon of Monday the 4th. It's either going to be launched tonight on the 4th or tomorrow on the 5th. And so that'll go out via Election Buddy. Just wanted to remind everybody that it goes out electronically. It'll get sent to your personal email and to the phone number that we have on file for you by a text message. It still is just one unique code attached to each person. So if someone clicks into both, it'll just log the one vote. But we send it to both different means of communication in case, you don't check your email in one email or your phone number is changed. It increases the chances that you'll get that ballot. If for some reason, you didn't get it, you can reach out to any of the bargaining team members and we can get that updated for you. Just make sure to check your spam folder because sometimes they go to your spam folder. So keep that in mind also. The ratification vote will be out for 1 week. So everybody will have a week to vote. It's super quick. It takes like 1 minute to vote because it's just one question. So keep that in mind. The ballots are anonymous. So when you click in, you'll see you just click, yes or no. I vote to ratify the contract. Keep in mind you are ratifying everything from your local table and everything from central table at the same time. So everything that came out of both tables is combined into your contract. So it's combined into one vote. There were some changes to central table that I'll highlight briefly here. But again, there will be a video coming out tomorrow from Oregon AFSCME because this is a central table topic that will kind of answer some questions, some common questions that have come up. And then your bargaining summary will have all of the details in it. So keep in mind you can take a look at those for all of the details. But a couple of things have changed. Because there's been a lot going on with the grievance settlement and then other unions negotiating, we kind of pull all of that together. So the main highlights from what we told you all about last time is that the first COLA, that's still staying the same. That's still at 2.5%. That date did change. The original implementation date was December 1st of this year. It's going to shift to February 1st of 2026. And then the second COLA is going to shift from December 1st of 2026 to January 1st of 2027. So a 1 month shift, but it's going to increase to 4%. So it was originally negotiated at 3.45%. So it will now increase to 4%. So generally it's better to have higher COLAs because they compound over time than it would be to have it implemented sooner. So by shifting it by a few months for each of those COLAs, we were able to get it increased up to that 4%. The other thing that has changed is the implementation of the ad step was originally set for March 1st of 2027. It is now going to be February 1st of 2027. And anybody who has been at the state for 10 years or more and is qualified for the ad step and is topped out will get the step immediately. Previously, it was negotiated to go in effect through least cost implementation, which is the normal way for a step to go into effect for the state, which means when your salary eligibility date hits, then you get that step, and it kind of varies person to person. But to kind of really recognize those with longevity with the state, we were able to get that language shifted a little bit. So those that have been at the state for 10 years and are topped out will get it immediately on February 1st of 2027. So some good news there. We've also gotten a lot of questions about biweekly pay. A lot of those answers will be in the video that will come out from Oregon Asks Me tomorrow. But just in short, yes, there is going to be a transition to biweekly pay. It is not until mid 2027. So your bargaining team pushed it out as far as we could, out 2 years. The other unions also are in the same place. The state's going to make this change as a collective whole over to biweekly pay. So is management. So that will take place in mid 2027. We will have a 2-year committee that is focused on making sure that is the smoothest transition as possible and really diving into all of those logistics. What did change over the last couple of weeks related to biweekly pay is the benefits that are attached to it. We've also been sitting here negotiating the global grievance settlement related to workday and biweekly pay. And there are 2 benefits that will be coming into effect when we are going through that transition. And so one of them is that you will get a $1,700 one-time payment. And you will also be getting a 40-hour allotment of leave. So you'll get 40 hours of paid leave. You can either use it or you can cash it out. It's up to you. So that will be going into effect 90 days before the transition to biweekly pay is when you'll get that. And the idea and the intent on that is that it's going to be an adjustment for folks to move to biweekly pay all across the state, not just at SACU, not just, locals under Oregon Asks Me, but all across the state. And so that compensation is to buffer a little bit, as people are getting used to how their bills are going to work and all that good stuff. So those are kind of the main highlights of things that have changed over the last couple of weeks. So now we can officially get the ratification votes out. Again, they'll be going out very soon, either the 4th or the 5th, and they'll be out for 7 days. If you have any questions, just reach out to your bargaining team members. If you have any central table questions, reach out to Christina or I. If they're local table, you can reach out to anybody from local table. And we'll do our best to kind of get responded to everybody in a timely manner since we've got the 7 days for the vote. The only other thing I wanted to touch base on right now, I'll touch base with everybody once ratification is done so folks can know how that went, because it will be important. We have a lot of changes in this contract, and so folks are going to want to know, right when that change is over. So we'll let folks know. There was a recent request to put out a morale survey for everybody, and so we are working on that. We don't want to launch it the same time we launch ratification, because if there's too many things out, some people do one and forget about the other. So once ratification is done in about a week or so, sometime next week, we will go ahead and get that morale survey out. And I will come back and do another video getting that launched for folks. So think about what you want to add into that morale survey. I think this is a good time for the next week and a half to think about what you might want to put in there. This is going to be a morale survey that's going to be intended to get feedback from all of you that we can then take and share with the executive leadership at SACU and ODDS and ODHS. I know a lot of you heard that the DHS director is changing, that Fairbours is retiring. So now that Fairbours is retiring, the new person is coming on in. We will really be able to sit down with them and, go over this feedback, which I think is going to be really, really important for the changes that we need to see that's causing some of the morale issues. So that will be coming out shortly after ratification. So again, any questions, just reach out. But otherwise, we'll get the ratification votes out and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks everyone.